Big news drop from OSFI, the rules makers for the banks, that's going to change how we buy real estate forever. And this is something that I was a big believer in. I helped a lot of my clients to do. And after these rules, they're going to be in place, like, as early as January. That's what they're saying. So news came out almost 10 days ago. So what they are trying to do now, let's say if you come to me, you want to buy your first property for $500,000, I'll take your income, which is, give example of $100,000 income, I'll get you approved for a $500,000 mortgage. And now in a year or two, you'll come back. You're like, you know what, Atif, I want to upgrade my house. I want to keep my first house. I want to buy a rental. I want to buy a house for my kids. Whatever the situation is. And if you're going to keep your first home, what happens right now is I'll basically take your income and then I would look at the situation and then income plus, let's say if you're buying a rental property, I add income plus the rental property to get you approved for the second one. So the biggest one a lot of my clients use is like, they upgrade with, upgrade their life with time. So yeah, they bought a house, they bought a condo, they come back, they want to buy a bigger house. They still want to keep the condo. They'll rent out the condo so I can still use the income again plus the rental income and get them approved for a bigger house. That was one of the best thing I do. I've done it for myself, and it's the best way to build real estate wealth, because it's so tough, especially these days now where grocery is so expensive, like, everything is so expensive. It's so hard to save for your retirement and your pension unless you have a really, really good job and you have the pension, sure. But, usually our CPA, CPP in old age is not enough to survive. So for me, I was a big believer in this. But what's going to happen is after January, that's what they're saying, this new rule they're placing, if you bought a property and I had to use your income to get you approved for that $500,000 property with, let's say, $100,000 income, you come back to me and buy a second property, I cannot use that income anymore. So now, let's say if you want to buy even a rental property, I would be only be able to use your rental income to get you approved. So let's say you're looking for a $500,000 rental property. I cannot use any of your income that was used to buy the last property. I would just use a rental income, which, let's say you're getting $2,000 for a year, and most of the banks don't even use 100% rental income. They use 50 to 80%. But let's say it's 100% even. So $2,000 rental income, you're going to go up to $24,000. You're not getting nothing with that. So with this new rule, basically, you cannot buy a second property. Like, if you own the first one, yeah, you can now sell and buy. I'm sure they're going to have other things that you can do, but it's building a real estate wealth, which when you're life upgrading, it, it's not that hard for people to manage the first property as a rental. It's just it was one of the best thing that I used to do for my clients. I've done it for myself. That's how I was able to buy more properties in time because you're upgrading, you go buy another one, you rent out the first one, and I could use the same income to get you qualify again. We can't do that anymore. And again, hopefully it doesn't, if come into fact in January, but that's where they're trying to do. They're trying to place this rule as soon as this coming January here. So if you are looking to buy a second home, trying to build real estate wealth, or you're trying to upgrade your life, you want to keep the first one, you want to buy a rental, you want to buy a home for your kids, any reason you're doing a second home, please start being active as of right now. Try to go out there, get pre-approval done, give me a call. I'm always here. Make sure your number's in place so you can start looking at properties, because if it is as early as this January, we might find out in December. But if you start doing everything in December, it's going to be tough for you to put an offer on a house by January. So hopefully it does not come in place. Like hopefully they push this out, because for me it's like, any small investors, like people who's trying to build real estate by just, smaller down payment, or even like people who's buying one or two real estate, just trying to have like something for their future, we won't be able to do it next year. That's what it looks like. So it is a really, really bad news. I personally do not like these rules at all with what they're trying to do. So hopefully it does not happen. But if it does, please be ready. My biggest advice is go get the pre-approval done. Start looking at a couple properties. If you don't want to buy right now, don't have to, but at least be ready. So if that comes in place, at least you can go ahead and put an offer. And if it doesn't, by December, they say, you know what? We're not gonna do it. It's gone. You know what? That's awesome. So I would be the happiest man if that does happen. But what it looks like right now, we cannot use income if you already own that house. We cannot use the income to buy the second home. So it's the I guess the biggest thing is like they don't want us to own more properties than one. That's what they're trying to do. And it's just it. So now I'm gonna attach the link for you guys at bottom so you can review more. If you need any more help, give me a call. We can run the numbers for you how it looks like. But the best way to say it is, if you own a property and you want to buy a second one, it's going to be next to impossible to get that. Hope this helped, but if you guys need anything, please reach out. I'm always here. Take care.